Let's do this. Movie news. Today, let's talk about it. Welcome to Mirror Dwayne's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about Knives Out 2, Loki Season 2, Devil Wears Prada 2. Is it a sequel kind of day? I don't know. We'll talk about the weekend's box office, but we start off today's show by talking about Reed Richards in the MCU. John Krasinski. Could he be back? Well, let's just take a look. Emily Blunt wants John Krasinski to return as MCU's Reed Richards. And I pulled this article at the start because it made me think this morning about a couple of things, actually. Well, we know we have a director for the upcoming Fantastic Four, and we have a release date, but we don't have a cast yet. And we've heard reports in the past that Emily Blunt doesn't want to be in a superhero movie, so I don't think she'll be ever like the Invisible Woman, but she wants John Krasinski to return as Reed Richards. Now, does this mean that he's going to be Reed Richards in the this iteration of the Fantastic Four that's going to come out, that movie? I don't know. But I was thinking about it this morning, and I want to give you my thoughts on it here, because they've kind of already established that some of what people look like in other dimensions are the same type of, they look the same, right? They did it with Mordo or whatever, Mordu or whatever his name is. They did it with Patrick Stewart's Professor X. And if they're going to do it with Deadpool and Wolverine, I think somewhere out there, Reed Richards in other universes will look like John Krasinski. So I don't know if he'll be the Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four, but it does leave the door open for him to be back as Reed Richards, perhaps in a different iteration, or like when they break things open up the multiverse, kind of Secret Wars, perhaps. I don't know, whatever the heck that's going to be. But let's take a look at this quote here from Emily Blunt. She was on an interview with Hey Guys via The Direct. Okay, so she was just in an interview where she was talking about this, and she says about him being Mr. Fantastic there. I was really happy for him because I think he's a huge fan, and I understand why it's such an ardent passion, religion for people. It's a huge part of our cinematic history, so he was thrilled. Well, I hope we can see him in the role again. I hope so. You never know. And it's weird that she's talking about this now, because you think they would be ramping up now to almost announce the cast for Fantastic Four. So it is on the table there that perhaps, maybe we could see him. And people get, they conflate the fact that he's also a director, right? But he had to direct it as well and star in it. No, he's still an actor too, guys. So he can still just be an actor and be Reed Richards in Fantastic Four. But he would have to be in it as a series, right? You'd have to be in there for some time. So let's go over to the IMDb here at Krasinski's IMDb. See what he's got coming up on the schedule. And see if, he's got nothing but Imaginary Friends. And that Imaginary Friends we looked at the other week, that's that movie with Ryan Reynolds, oddly enough. He's directing Ryan Reynolds, and Imaginary Friends is just where Ryan Reynolds can see other people's imaginary friends. It's got Lou Gossett Jr., Steve Carell, Fiona Shaw, and Ryan Reynolds is the main character. It'll be cool to see, that movie come together, but like his slate is wide open. So he's under one of those things where if he was in the Fantastic Four, which should be on here, this page, right? But it's not, and this is fairly common for people of this caliber, because if you go and look at like Tom Holland's page, it's like he's got nothing listed, nothing coming down the pipe for him. So I don't find this shocking. So it is possible that he could still appear as Reed Richards. I think that's what most people would like. And the fact that she's talking about it now, the fact that she's talking, well, because they're married, right? The fact that she's talking about it now, does it give you guys a little bit of pause that perhaps maybe just like a small inkling of hope there that perhaps we will get Krasinski as Reed Richards? I hope so. I really do. All right, guys. If you don't know how this works, you're watching Mirror Domain's Movie News. We do a daily movie news show, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday, right here. And why would you listen to me? Because I follow all these movie news headlines. I watch movies, I review movies, and I just don't have a passion for like one genre. I do all genres here, guys, because I just love talking about movies. I don't hold a prejudice here. Okay, so with that being said, guys, if you want to follow all my social medias, you know those little shorts that we do, that we publish, you can see extended versions of those on TikTok and Instagram. Hey, we've gone viral on both of those. We haven't yet gone viral on YouTube, but my numbers are going up. It's going up, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you like what you see. Follow the playlists because, hey, you're going to find something that you can like here on the channel. All right, guys, it's Monday, so you know what that means? It's time to talk about the weekend's box office report. All right. Okay, so let's go over and take a look at what's in the headlines here. Box office Halloween Ends opens to a so-so 41 million, lowest in the trilogy. Now, I was going to pull that up and look at what the other Halloween numbers were, but yeah, 41.2 million is not that bad, isn't it? Halloween Ends was expected to open up in the same range as Halloween Kills, with around 50 million. Overseas, it scared 17. Well, these numbers are a little bit wonky, so let's just go over to the box office mojo and take a look at the top 5 for the weekend of October 14th to the 16th, 2022. Number 1 was Halloween Ends. Number 2 was Smile. Number 3 was Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Number 4 was The Woman King, no change there. And number 5 was Amsterdam. Amsterdam, hanging in there. Despite people not liking it. And that's pretty much what we expected last Friday, right? That everything would just get shifted down. Now, I thought that Halloween Ends would come in around 20 million, but hey, 41 million is higher than what they were projecting. Well, lower than they were projecting, higher than what I was expecting. Yeah, there you go. That's what I need to say. Because, well, let's just pull up their numbers here. Halloween Ends 41.2 domestically, 17.1 internationally, for a total of 58.4 million worldwide. And, well, the budget was estimated at around 20 million. 20 million for Halloween Ends. Well, if you look at other sources here, guys, like from Hollywood Reporter, they say 30 million. So let's just say around 20 to 30 million was the budget for Halloween Ends. So if somebody tries to tell you this weekend that it was a complete bust, it wasn't. It wasn't a bomb. You know what was a bomb? It was Amsterdam. Amsterdam was a bomb from last year. Let's see. West Side Story was a bomb. you know, I always like to rag on that. But yeah, it made its money back, but it's not as nearly as high as some people would have wanted it. And what were the causes for that? What would have caused those numbers? Was it because it was a streaming and theatrical release at the same time? We'll talk about that in just a few moments. But the other thing too, guys, going for it was that it just wasn't that good. You know, it was kind of a letdown for a lot of people. These numbers have dropped since Saturday, because we did a spoiler talk about Halloween Ends up on Saturday, guys. And if you want to take a look at that, by all means, I go into some of the nuances of this story. I go into some of the things about this story that mostly didn't work for me, right? 40% by the critics, 57% by the audience, and I expect that to even take more, because once you realize that it's not really a Halloween movie, it's not really a Michael Myers movie, it's a Corey movie about him becoming a serial killer. That's sorry about spoilers if you haven't seen it, but it's out on Peacock as well right now. So if you didn't go to the theaters, you've had your chances. And I'm sorry if it's not in your schedule, but we're talking about it right now. Perry Nemiroff there, she said, loaded with big swings and compelling ideas, they just don't belong on the path established in the 2018 film. Yeah, and I agree with her. She's always a solid critic, reviewer. I trust her opinions 100%. Let's take a look at something that was perhaps positive. Okay, let's take a look at this guy here. Adam Does Movies. Halloween Ends takes some chances and will definitely upset a lot of fans. So he even acknowledges in his positive review that it will upset fans. Not because it's not going to have Michael Myers. It does, but it's just like an hour and 51 minutes, and it's like, oh my God. Ooh, ooh. That said, I appreciated the messy attempts at something new, and I ultimately got what I wanted out of it. Well, some people were happy, so there you go. Some people liked Halloween Ends, and that's one of the reasons why. When I look at this box office for this weekend, guys, the $41.2 million, it's gonna be a steep drop off. I'm more than 60% for sure. Because you know what? The word of mouth is going to get out there, and Smile is still doing good out there. Smile is still the one horror out there that I would say, guys, out of those two, if you want to see a horror movie in the month of October, thus far, go see Smile. It'll be a much more satisfying experience. But Halloween Ends has that legacy moniker to it, so people will see it because of that. You know. And just to wrap up a little bit about Halloween Ends here, we'll talk about this a little bit more on the Horror Weekly Roundup that we just did. Halloween Ends set image reveals best look at Michael Myers unmasked. Now, I guess we sort of do see him unmasked, but this is just a set photo. If you're curious to know what he looks like under the mask, the actor, this is the actor, guys. This is not, I guess this is what he would sort of look like, but yeah. Okay. That's Courtney right there. Okay. Yeah, whatever. I just thought that was kind of curious to look at. But let's go back to the box office here. Smile, as I said, out of the two, go see Smile, because Smile did break the $100 million mark, and that's fantastic. Ooh, 137.5. The word of mouth is going to really, this is going to be the sleeper hit of the fall here, guys. This is going to be the one that you want to go out and see. If you haven't seen it yet, Smile. My review is up on the channel. My straight out of the theater reaction for it, guys, is a fantastic horror movie. And you know what else should be on this list aside from Smile? Hellraiser should be on this one too, because if it was in the theater release too, I would have gone out to see it for sure. And it wouldn't have made 41 million or anything like that, but it could be breaking into the cheddar of the box office, I think. But Smile, Hellraiser, guys, go watch those ones. Halloween Ends. If you're curious about to see what they were trying to do with it, if you're a Michael Myers fan, you'll check it out. Horror fan, you'll check it out. But if you're just a casual person, stay clear. It's not a good experience. And then finally, Amsterdam, the one that is a bomb that I still enjoyed. Fifth spot, 18.4 million, and this had like an $80 million budget, right? So this is a bomb. This is what a bomb looks like, right? A box office dud with a huge cast, and it's a bummer because Christian Bale was really good in this performance. He was. That's what a box office bomb looks like. Sadly, don't let anybody tell you that Halloween Ends was a bomb, because it did make more than its production budget back. It's going to break even and make a little bit of cheddar. That's about it. It's not a bomb. Now, it's a bomb in the aspects of people not liking it, for sure, and public opinion. What else came out? Till came out. That's a smaller release. Decision to Leave. Okay. But that's pretty much the way that the numbers look for the weekend here, guys. What do you guys think about some of those box office numbers? Is it what you expected? What do you think the drop-off will be for Halloween Ends next weekend? Because, Black Adam opens this week. It's going to be a Black Adam week for sure. We're going to be tracking that. We're starting tomorrow. We're going to be looking at Black Adam pretty much every day of the week because of early reviews and, anticipation levels and stuff like that. I hear good things. And as when the embargo drops, probably on Wednesday, right, or something, we'll take a look at it. Black Adam opens this weekend. It's going to probably smash $41 million into the ground. I expect it to make around $75 to $85 million, Black Adam. So, we'll take a look at that. All right, let's go back to that streaming and theatrical storyline there, because Halloween Ends did open up on Peacock, and you would think that would hurt its numbers in the box office, and I think some people did think so, right? But Halloween Ends actually apparently had Peacock's biggest ever debut. Well, what else is on Peacock? Let me think here. What else is on Peacock? I don't know. And I don't care to know. It's something I can do without. Halloween Ends defies bad reviews to become Peacock's biggest debut. Halloween Ends has reportedly become the biggest premiere ever on Peacock, despite the film's negative reviews. Well, that's no joke, man. Because we looked at the Rotten Tomato score. But okay, well, it definitely drew audiences to Peacock. I'm guessing for like a 1 month free subscription, and then they're gonna not have it anymore. Obviously, that meant filming Halloween Ends was a hugely emotional experience. Okay, so David Gordon Green, I don't really want to hear anything from you, dude. You kind of messed this up big time. He messed it up big time. So I got nothing to say to you, man. This, oh God, Jesus, what the heck were you thinking, man? What the heck were you thinking? But hey, it's good for Peacock. The other side of the coin looking at this, okay, it might have been good for streaming services, but there are other people out there that have other opinions about this. If it's good for the streaming service still, but Freaky director blasts studios over date releases amid Halloween Ends launch. It destroyed us. So Christopher Landon, who did Freaky there with Vince Vaughn, says that, stop gambling with filmmakers and their movies and try and prop up your fledgling streaming services. And Peacock's going to go the way of the dodo. It's not going to be something that's going to last forever. I think when all is said is done, I think Disney Plus will still be there. I think Netflix will still be there, and HBO or whatever iteration of that is going to be. Those big three. I don't know, Paramount Plus. I just... Maybe one horror, because it's all going to go to being like Tubi, where it's like free, but you got ads in it. Or like what they're doing with Netflix and, the other ones where it's going to be lower, but you'll have ads. And people will just go for that. Like, yeah, all right. But, some people are outraged. This Christopher Landon says that, I feel another rant coming today. It's day and date release strategy of Halloween Ends. Stop doing this. Please, it doesn't work. Studios, stop gambling with filmmakers and their movies to try prop up your fledgling streaming services. This is happening to me on... Oh, guess I have to click this old Twitter thing to continue reading this guy's verbose tweet. All right, Christopher Landon. He did... He's scheduled to do something else too, isn't he? Happened to me on what? Come on, dude. All right. Well, I guess I didn't have that pulled up. Freaky. Christopher Landon. All right. So it happened to him on Freaky? But no, Freaky was like a month after, right? A month after Christopher Landon. Let's take a look at Christopher Landon's resume since we got him pulled up. IMDb. There we go. Because he's kind of, you would say that he's right. He did them. Paranormal Activity. Oh, is that what he's got coming up? I don't care about your writing credits. I want your directing credits. We Have a Ghost. Oh, and he did the Happy Death Day movies. That's right. Okay. All right. So he doesn't like that. Okay. Well, guys, what do you think? It does have its pros and cons releasing it at the same day. Like HBO Max learned the hard way last year with all their releases going straight to streaming as well as in theaters, like with Dune and King Kong versus Godzilla. That movie, like Godzilla versus Kong. It just, yeah. I don't like it. I prefer like having at least a 30-day window there. Have it in theaters, just like what later on Knives Out is doing. They're releasing it in a limited theater release in November, and then it goes streaming in December. That's the way I think you should do it. At least give it a chance to max out the opening weekend at the box office. At least do that. That's what I'd say. All right, guys, if you don't know how this channel works, let's take a break here and tell you how it's going. Aside from what the movie news is here that we do, we also do full live watch-alongs for things like House of the Dragon, Episode 9, later on today, guys, 1:30 p.m. In just over an hour. we'll be doing episode 9. That series wraps up with 10 episodes. So we're coming down to the finale of House of the Dragon Season 1. And then on Wednesdays, we do Andor, Star Wars Andor. Can't wait for that because it's going to start a new chapter, right? Each chapter of Andor is like 3 episodes. So, yeah, we'll be going into that. I can't wait for that. And this will be the last week that I mentioned these two. She-Hulk, we wrapped up last week. The finale's up on the channel right now, guys. Go check that out. I had a lot of fun with that series. I think I want to see more She-Hulk. We wrapped up the Rings of Power. A lot of people like that, guys. I did like the finale of the Rings of Power. I thought it was a great series overall. Go check that out. This is the last week I'll be mentioning these, and then we'll find new things for Thursday and Fridays to fill in the gaps from these two things wrapping up. And then as I've already mentioned, we do the Horror Weekly Roundup on the Saturdays, where we talk about all the big horror movie news headlines that dropped. You can find that right there. And, we do full live watch-alongs for things like Hellraiser, Predator Prey. You're going to find something really cool here. And we're also slowly getting through the Midnight Club. It's just, it's a lot of time to produce those and put them together, guys. It's a lot of stuff to do. But you'll find something. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. You know you want to. And let's get back into the movie news. All right. Rachel Zegler, Snow White. Are you guys looking forward to that? Rachel Zegler responds to live-action Snow White being labeled politically correct. People are making these jokes about ours being the PC Snow White, where it's like, yeah, it is, because it needed that, the actress says, of Disney's upcoming film. Rachel Zegler, of course, you could see in that box office bomb, West Side Story. But, yeah, she's going to be our Snow White. And I'm sorry. And it is a Spielberg film. It is, but hey, it cost over $100 million to make it, and it didn't make it back, right? Right? Anyway, Snow White. She responded about people saying that it's woke or whatever. And it's, I don't like to get into that stuff. But she says people are making jokes about ours being PC Snow White. And she said, it's an 80-year-old cartoon, and our version is a refreshing story about a young woman who has a function beyond someday my prince will come. Was she always waiting for her prince? I don't know. It's been so long since I watched the original, because it was like one of the very first Disney cartoons. And the animation was a little shoddy at times, I admit that. So it did need a remake, but maybe you should have just kept it as an animated remake instead of a live-action one. I really hope these live-action remakes come to a close here. Like, they're running out of ones to do anyway, so people are just not reacting to them the way that the studio wants, right? And it's partially because if you're remaking it, you might as well remake it to times for today, right? You might as well do that because, well, yeah. Why not? It is an 85 or 84 year film, or 85. It's 85, so you can't make it with the same kind of cultural impact. You got to update it, right? So in some ways that perhaps people will say it's PC, but that's mostly in the U.S., guys, that people get caught up in that kind of stuff. I don't. I look at that stuff and I don't even acknowledge it. I'm just like meh. All right. Seven Dwarves. Yeah, and there was some backlash with that. Peter Dinklage himself came out and said he criticized it, but apparently they brought in some smaller people and they've gotten some feedback from them to how to deal with that. So, literally no offense to anyone, but I was a little taken aback when they were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White. But you're telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but then you're still making an effing backward story about 7 dwarves living in a cave together. Said, that was Dinklage's comment. Yeah, so I could see that for sure. But apparently they addressed that. They're going to deal with that, hopefully in a tactful manner. And I'm still looking forward to it because I like the cast. I think she's going to be good. She's a good singer, so I'll be on board for that. All right. one story here that I saw on the side that I just want to quickly get out of the way here, guys. It came up on the weekend too. That Robbie Coltrane passed on at 72. And I should have put this in the show notes, but I totally forgot about it. I was a little bit rushed this morning, so I got my flu shot, man. So I was out. So I'm ready for my flu. But Coltrane, he was Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies that a lot of people will know. But for me, he was always a good character actor too. He was always good in like smaller things like From Hell. He was good in that. For me, also, I liked him in comedies like Nuns on the Run. Robbie Coltrane. Oh, he was also in.
Robbie Coltrane.
He was also in that Krull movie with Liam Neeson. A bunch of them were like young actors at the time going out there and doing stuff. I felt like that was pretty cool. All right, let's take some live comments here. From Our Glass Vikings, the Fantastic Four is supposedly going to be established already with no origin story. This limits the age of the cast, so John is in with a shout. Yeah, this limits the age of the cast, so John is in with a shout. Yeah, we're talking about that Reed Richards story. I think it's still possible that he could be. I hope that he is. I really do. And if Jodie Comer is Invisible Woman, that seems like a good pairing to me. But we'll have to see. Whoever they cast, it'll still work out. But as I said about the multiverse stuff, it still opens up the door for the possibility that, he could still appear as Mr. Fantastic just from a different universe stuff, right? Our Glass Vikings, doesn't that prove that Halloween Ends was a cash grab? A modest budget of $30 million. They should have ramped up the budget and wrote a script. Well, there were script issues there, wasn't there? People were laughing, apparently, at some of the lines in the dialogue, for sure, too. Yeah, for me, too. It was just weird. It was just, I don't get it. Our Glass also says, you have to subscribe to the rest of Christopher Landon's tweet, LOL. Yeah, sometimes I should have pulled that up a little bit better. But as I said, I was a little bit rushed. And then finally, Our Glass says, surely the new Snow White is riding on the coattails of the original. For sure. It's not like one of those reimagined ones of like Snow White and the Huntsman. It's exploiting nostalgia, rebranding, and repackaging it. Why not just create original material? #justice for dwarves. And you see, they can do that, but they got to be a little bit more respectful. People didn't really complain about Durin, although the actor who played Durin was not actually small, right? But they did that with Snow White and the Huntsman, right? And they did that with Snow White and, the one that Emily Blunt was in with the Ice Queen. I liked that one. She was good in that. I liked her with the white hair and stuff like that. I thought that would look fantastic. A. Weaver says, I just hope the dwarves have learned their own housework finally. Yeah, and I don't think I don't expect them to go into that kind of a detail. If they do, it's kind of like, But I think one of the songs was based around that. Just reinvent it a little bit, change it up a little bit. I have high hopes for the Snow White, just like I have high hopes for the Little Mermaid one too. All right, let's move on to more movie news with Zendaya and this tennis movie. Well, yeah, she's got a tennis movie coming out. And Zendaya is one of my favorite actresses right now. Trained for 3 months to play tennis player in Challengers in this upcoming sexy comedy, Challengers. Well, yeah, I heard this. Of course, if you don't know who Zendaya is, guys, we're movie fans here. We know who Zendaya is. I'm not going to explain who she is. From Spider-Man, Euphoria. Yeah, you know. Okay, so they spent like 3 months working together very hard. The director said everybody technically and athletically. Yeah, we've seen behind the scenes photos of like, this is the rest of the cast. These are the guys that she'll be playing it with, right? In the gym, hitting the weights, pumping some iron. Yeah, Zendaya's awesome. And I expected, for her to, they're not sitting on anything here, are they? They're just doing that thing against the wall with your legs. Okay, that's what they're doing. But yeah, you got to work on those leg muscles if you're going to be out on the court, right? But for like 3 months, I expect good things from this, actually. It'll be kind of a different role for Zendaya because we're getting her in like the superhero movies with Spider-Man, and then she's in the sci-fi with Dune, and then she's on the TV show with a lot more dramatic flair. So this comedy, yeah, cool. I'll be on board for that. Zendaya. Let's take a look at when this comes out. Challengers, expected August 11th, 2023. Follows 3 players who knew each other when they were teenagers as they compete in a tennis tournament to be the world-famous Grand Slam winner and reignite old rivalries while on the court. Josh O'Connor's in this with Mike Faced. All right, any other big names that jump out at me? No big names that jump out at me in there other than Zendaya, and I'm looking forward to this. From Luca Guadagnino. All right, there you go. Zendaya. Next year, guys, tennis movie. Sexy comedy. What do you think about that? It'll be cool to see her do romantic comedy. Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool too. Zendaya, for sure. Because she's definitely mature enough to do those kinds of roles. For sure. Way for sure. So that'd be cool. All right, what's next? Creed 3. Creed 3 has some posters out, guys, and let's take a look at them. There they are. Creed 3, 2 images. You got one of Michael B. Jordan and the villain guy played by Jonathan Majors for Creed 3. First look at villain. Well, is it really a villain, or would you say antagonist? Dame, yeah. In 2023 sequel. I'm looking forward to this because they're saying that maybe this is the son of Clubber Lang, right? But his name isn't listed as a Lang in the IMDb. But let's just blow up these posters for Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan directs. March 3rd, 2023 is when this comes out. And I really like the first Creed. The second one was okay. It was passable. Mostly because of like seeing Dolph Lundgren back. I thought that was kind of cool. I dug that storyline, especially him dealing with the politics of coming from Russia and stuff like that. But now we know that Jonathan Majors is going to be the bad guy in this one. Well, the antagonist, as I prefer. But simple posters, but I think effective as teaser posters. I'm expecting we'll probably get a bunch of floating heads posters for sure for Creed 3 coming out. Let's just take a look at is there any kind of synopsis for Creed 3 there on the no, on the IMDb? No. Expected March 3rd, 2023. You know what? I would probably think that we would get a teaser for this soon. In fact, the very fact that we're getting posters for this, guys, is that I think they're ramping up for a teaser release pretty soon. Oh God, look at Jonathan Majors ripped. Yeah, we've seen these. Him at the beach. Very low body fat for sure. And he's going to be our Kang, right? He's going to be Kang in Avengers Kang Dynasty. He's going to be the big bad guy in that. Yeah, he'll be the bad guy in that movie for sure. Jonathan Majors. Who else is in Creed 3? Tessa Thompson's coming back. Okay, well, they're married, of course. Felicia Rashad is the mother. The only person that you're not going to see in this cast list is Sylvester Stallone, because apparently, yeah, they're done. They're done talking about the Rocky story. Creed just needs to be out on his own. And if we look at Jonathan Majors' name here, Damian Anderson, right? So it's not a Lang. It's not Damian Lang. So maybe he isn't. But do you want to see him actually be a descendant of Clubber Lang, the Mr. T role? For me, I thought it just made sense. But maybe it's just a little bit too much on the nostalgia. I still want to see this movie. God, look at the shoulders on Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. James. I'm too old for that now, though. Am I? Are you too old to put on a little bit of mass? Well, that's not a little bit of mass. That's you got to work for that. And if you don't maintain that, then it goes really fast, right? But Creed 3, guys, next March, new posters. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Our Glass Viking says, I like the montage in Creed 2. Yeah. Creed 2 had its things. And that director's going on to do Beast Wars, right? The new Transformers movie. All right. Knives Out 2. Knives Out 2 is just around the corner. and it's been in a couple of headlines, so let's take a look at it. Knives Out detective Benoit Blanc is gay. Oh, director Ryan Johnson confirms. Why is that relevant? Why should we care about that, right? I don't know why. Unless it's like, if it plays a part of the story, why do we need to know? And it doesn't matter. That's what I say. But I guess they were out at promoting the movie, guys. You know that I'm looking forward to it. I like the trailers for this. And we are going to be doing full live watch along for Knives Out 2 on Netflix in December, but I will be seeing it in theaters in its limited release in November. Breaking news. It looks like Ryan Johnson has just confirmed that Benoit Blanc is gay, answering the question with an empathetic yes. For God's sakes, man. Yes, he obviously is, and there's nobody in the world I can imagine in bringing me more joy for Benoit Blanc to be with. I'm guessing he's talking about Daniel Craig. Okay. All right. Whatever. Doesn't change. Hey, unless it has something to do with the story, I don't really see what relevance it has. But okay. Apparently, yeah, you're going to learn a lot more about Benoit Blanc in this movie. He's got a quote here that he talks about, Ryan Johnson does. You definitely get to know him a little bit better, the filmmaker explained before revealing the follow-up. Blanc will be more in a leading role. In the first one, because of the way that it was structured, Ana de Armas was very much the protagonist. Yes, she was, right? In a big way, Blanc was the threat. He was almost the antagonist in terms of just the story structure. Yeah, he was kind of, sort of, right? Because it was a murder mystery. And now this one, we get to see it more from his point of view, I guess. Because you were worried, even as they got closer, that he was going to catch her and he was going to have to turn her over at the end. No, I didn't think that. I never thought that she was in on. I never did, but yeah, whereas in this one, Blanc gets an invitation to come to this murder mystery on this island. We're very much meeting these people and getting into this world through his eyes. Okay, so maybe there will be a little bit of backstory there that will have relevance to it. But for me, you know, I'm fairly progressive. I don't really care about that stuff. The other headline out there for Knives Out 2 was that because they were talking about this, Ryan Johnson says Angela Lansbury's role in the Whodunit sequel. So yeah, and may she rest in peace. Last week we saw that, you know, she had passed on. So I guess this would be maybe her final role, right? I don't know how big it would have been, because she was like, what, 96 or something? She was very old, but it was cool. She's cool, and she's in this murder mystery still. Fantastic. So let's take a look at this quote from great composer Steven Soderheim. They were so kind and generous, we thought, my God, would either of them ever do it? We didn't think they would, and both of them were very cool. For both of them, besides just the honor of having them in the movie, personally, just being able to have 10 minutes with each other to tell them that their work meant so much to me was special. The fact that she's in our movie, we're so blessed, and what an incredible life she had. Indeed. So she's going to be in The Glass Onion. Cool. Now that's cool. That's what I want to check out. And pay my respects. Give us a chance to say goodbye to her. Cool. So she was in Glass Onion cast list. We'll have to see how that pans out. Arglass says, I didn't think it was obvious that Benoit Blanc was gay. Did I miss something? Well, yeah, and they sort of said that it was obvious, but hey, I don't really know those kinds of things, right? Because as I said, for me, it's not important to me if you're that way or not. As long as you're a good person, I'll always talk to you, right? It would be good to see Mr. T as Jonathan's cut man for Creed 3. That would be cool, but he's not in the list. So yeah. Okay. Loki Season 2. Let's continue on. Loki Season 2 has reportedly wrapped filming with crew. Wrapped gift image. New images of crew of Loki showing off their wraps. Gifts suggest season 2 is completed film. Wait a minute. Didn't we already get a story like this and they filmed it in Montreal and they were all on the subway together or something? But I guess season 2 wrap day merch. Maybe they mean it for the, or maybe that Montreal scene was just for actually shooting. Maybe this is for, no, wrap means for shooting. I don't know. Okay, well, we still know that's going to come out next year. Lady Loki was the highlight for me. I want to see more for that. I guess that means that I have to finish watching Loki season 1 because I stopped at episode 5 and I didn't watch episode 6. But I guess if it's also going to be the reveal of Jonathan Majors in Loki as Kang, I suppose I should really go back and watch that. Maybe we'll do that this week because I got Thursday and Fridays open. Until I find something else to fill in. What I really need to concentrate in on is making a lot more shorts. People really like those shorts. I know people like the long form content. The long form content is going nowhere. But I need to wrap up Loki season 2 season 1 if there's going to be a season 2, and if it's going to have relevance to like Kang and stuff like that. I suppose I should get my butt into that, start doing that. Yeah, Hourglass says. It's great that we'll see Angela Lansbury one more time. Great legacy she leaves. Yes, indeed. All right. Devil Wears Prada 2. Anne Hathaway, Devil Wears Prada 2 will never happen. Bummer. Despite it being a huge hit. There was a sequel novel written in 2013. But Anne Hathaway has shut down chances of a movie sequel. Okay. I guess because it's been a bit long for it, right? But yeah, I would say I would be just someone who'd say never, but I do like Anne Hathaway as an actress. In Entertainment Tonight, she said she doubled down on her belief that there will never be a sequel. She said, that's not going to be a sequel. It's not going to happen. It's just like we can't do it. It's not going to happen. It exists. There are other films. There will be other films. We can just watch that one, The Devil Wears Prada, again. And then they go on to say how it can work. I guess this character will want revenge in some way, because that's what the book was called, right? Revenge Wears Prada was the name of that sequel book. So there is some story there to mine. It really depends on how much money they would be willing to dump into that. What's this? Anne Hathaway doesn't like her name, so call her anything but Anne. Yeah, I heard that. Right? And that really wasn't her first name, too, wasn't it? Or it was like, I can't remember. But yeah. And you'd have to get Emily Blunt back for that. And Meryl Streep. It's just, I think it's past its time. Yeah, I heard that she doesn't like to be called Anne. For some reason, it makes her wince. And I don't know why, then. Why would you want to go by that name? Go by the name that you want to. Anne. What? Yeah. I guess she's been in the headlines too here. Yeah, sure. Is Anne Hathaway a billionaire? What? Does she have that much net worth of $85 million? She's still got a lot of money. Yeah. Hey, some people don't like their names, right? They change it. There is, or they go by a variation, right? Anne Jacqueline Hathaway. I thought she had a different first name. I thought Anne was just a stage name, but you know what? Whatever. I guess we're not going to get a Devil Wears Prada 2 with her yet. We'll have to see. All right. Oh, I forgot about this story. It's not that much. No, I'm not going to do that story. It was just something in there about Attack the Block 2, but it wasn't really much since they don't have that script working. Argos Vikings says you will be impressed with Jonathan Majors in Loki. It was a great introduction to him. I hadn't seen his work prior to Loki. What was he in prior to Loki? Let's take a look at his IMDb. Jonathan Majors. Of course, he's got Secret Wars. Will he be... Kang Dynasty. So he won't die in Kang Dynasty, I'm guessing? He'll be in Secret Wars. I don't know. What else? He's got Creed 3 coming up, and he's filming Magazine Dreams. Before Loki, he was in Lovecraft Country. I never saw that. The Five Bloods. Captive State sounds familiar. Did I see Captive State? Is that one with John Goodman? I think it is, right? Yeah, it is with John Goodman. Okay, so I have seen him. That was that weird one where they're like aliens that are like holding the planet hostage and they got to make sacrifices to them. Kind of an interesting premise. It just wasn't executed as tightly as it could have been. Yeah, aliens holding us hostage, and some of us work as minions to round the humans up for those sacrifices, right? Yeah, that one was kind of interesting. What else was he in? Hostels? That was with Studi and Christian Bale, right? And who was the girl in that? Rosamund Pike. That's right. I like that one too. Just a small one character in the background, right? He must have been. Because Christian Bale was the lead in that. David Midthunder. Any relation to Amber Midthunder? Huh. Stephen Lang was in that. Cool. Yeah, I remember that one. I'm going to have to revisit that. Timothée Chalamet was in that? Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that's on Netflix right now. I like this movie. It was just kind of like these... he gets contracted to take this Native American prisoner to one location. But I think he ends up setting him free in the end, right? Because he's an elder. They meet Rosamund Pike along the way. And, oh yeah, Ben Foster was in that. He plays kind of a twit. I like that movie. Anyway, I'm digressing. We're way off the base here. Let's get into people behaving badly. Okay. So, and unfortunately, it's going to be common names here. People behaving badly. It seems to be a thing a little... Well, let's get into it. Ezra Miller pleads not guilty to felony burglary charges. Flash star faces 26 years in Vermont prison if convicted for stealing a few bottles of spiritual beverages, right? Some spirits. He broke into a place and stole some wine and vodka or something. Really, felony charges would be 26 years in prison just for that? Guys, that seems a little bit harsh. It does. But he says he's not guilty. Imagine if he did go to prison for 26 years, though. I don't think he won't get that. Because here, when you start reading this, guys, it's kind of like, could be up to 26 years in prison with a $2,000 fine. Something just seems a little bit off balance there, right? 26 years in prison, or you could pay this $2,000 fine. I think I'll take the fine, right? It just seems a little bit mismatched there. For a $2,000 fine, I would say maybe a year at most in prison, 6 months maybe, because you can make that working minimum wage somewhere easily in like 2 months, right? It's just, I don't expect this to go anywhere. I expect the lawyers will probably get him off. If he gets anything from this, it'll be community service. But it just throws another wrench in the works there as to, well, what's going to happen with the Flash movie that everybody apparently who has seen the Flash movie says that it's awesome. Oh, man. But there you go. He pleads not guilty. The Ezra Miller saga continues on. And more people behaving badly, sadly, still is Bill Murray. Bill Murray faces an avalanche of new accusations. And we talked about this last week, too. About his incident that got the whole movie canceled there, being mortal. He apparently straddled somebody. And Bill Murray. It's just hard because you hold some of these people up as like icons when you grow up, from like Ghostbusters, Stripes, those kinds of things. And it's just, yeah, damn. A new report from Puck this week alleges Bill Murray has paid $100,000 settlement to a much younger female crew on the film Being Mortal. So he's paid, and that's what happens. People get paid off. Oh, instead of being reprimanded. But dude, if you're 72 years old, I would have loved to have seen you show up in the next Ghostbusters, but I think it's time for you just to step back. Go out and live the rest of your life. Nobody else needs to know these other allegations. As long as you're not in the limelight, you got enough money. Say you're done. Kiki Palmer on being. It better not have been Kiki Palmer, man. If he did that to Kiki Palmer, damn. 193 comments here. So we're going to have to tread this one lightly, guys. A lot of talking here about Rob Schneider. Oh, yeah. A. Weaver says, I feel sorry for Aziz Ansari. He did not need this. Yeah, and Aziz Ansari was the guy who directed Being Mortal, and then it got shut down because of all this stuff. And it's just the fallout is just, dude. And he says his excuse was he was just trying to be funny, and then people try to make excuses for him because they like him, that he's just from an older age, that people got away with that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, but no, we all go through that not ridiculous. We all go through the monotony of the harassment training in offices somewhere, or workplace harassment things that the HR people roll out to us. We all go through that now. We have to. And he should have known better. It's just a bummer. It bums me out. All right, guys, it's 12:52, and we've gone through all the stories. I'll pull up the Twitter here and get that ready to go. But I want to know your thoughts on people behaving badly. Starting to become a little bit of a segment there. I don't want it to become a segment, but seems to be the way. And I don't think that Ezra Miller story is going to affect the release of The Flash. It seems like they're going full blown on that. So I don't expect that to change anything too much. It could be a headline that some people will be running with, but I don't want to capitalize on negative stuff too much. Positive stuff and speculation. That's why I put the Reed Richards story first. Okay. Let's take a look at it coming here. What did I miss? Nothing. All right. Didn't miss anything there. Let's pull up the old Twitter. And then, guys, in 35 minutes, we're going to be watching House of the Dragon episode 9. I'm excited for that. Totally excited. All right, what do we got? First posters for The Crown Season 5. Elizabeth Debicki. I like her. It's Diana. New Queen, right? These two were both in Downton Abbey. He was in the Downton Abbey movie, right? This guy? He's playing Charles? Is he playing Charles? Yeah. And she was in Downton Abbey the last season and the last two movies, right? She was also in Harry Potter as one of the bad guys, right? That was teaching the dark crafts or something. Some of you got a bigger picture of her. Yeah, you guys recognize her. But Debicki actually kind of really looks like her right there. We saw her in Tenet. And I like this actor. He's a good actor. Dominic West is his name. Imelda Staunton right there. She's actually married to the butler, the head butler guy in Downton Abbey in real life. Right? Huh. It's a series I haven't gotten into. But perhaps I need to. The Sun official poster is being released November 25th. Hugh Jackman. I want to see this one. Laura Dern. Anthony Hopkins. A. Weaver says, it really angered me to hear what Murray did to Seth Green, who was just a kid, threw him in a trash can. Talking about that, people behaving badly. I think some of the comments might have touched on that. There's a lot of comments. To be fair, Seth Green still gets dangled over trash cans. Okay, so yeah, that's what was being referred to there. Yeah, a lot of people were weighing in there because Bill Murray is popular. He is, and casual people may not know this stuff about him. but it's rearing its ugly head, and it sounds like it's getting more volume, and bad things will happen. The movie industry, Artglass says, the movie industry and movie agents need to educate their clients on the do's and don'ts. Too many entitled, privileged people being paid lip service in Hollywood. Which, yeah, and it's kind of undermining their progressive message that they apparently all stand for, right? And that came up too, and like even in the Snow White story. Back to the Twitterverse. Sun poster, I dig it. Well, it's yeah, it is. Happened at SNL, huh? Rihanna has reportedly recorded 2 songs for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Cool. I like Rihanna. And yeah, she just had a kid too, right? Cool. Very wealthy too. She's got like a makeup line and everything. She's a billionaire, right? Cool that she's still singing too. That's her passion, right? Rachel Sennott and Ayo Dibiri to co-star Shiva Baby director and writer M.S. Siglani's Bottoms. It follows 2 unpopular queer girls in their senior year of high school who start a female fight club in order to hook up with other girls on the cheerleading team. What the heck? That's kind of risque, isn't it? A fight club to hook up with cheerleaders. Well, it is what it is. That's not why Tyler Durden started the Fight Club, though. He was more of a madman trying to build an army. Kiki Palmer. Cool. We just talked about her. We saw her in Nope. She was good in that. And I'm looking forward to seeing more work from Kiki Palmer for sure. Paul Dano. Cool. GQ hype. He wants to come back as the Riddler, guys. He wants to come back. So we'll have to... I hope Matt Reeves works in a good reason for him to come back in some way. Where the bad guys team up against Batman. Good actor. Really good actor. Yeah. Kiki Palmer. More Kiki Palmer. Creed 3 posters. Yeah, we've seen those. Halloween Town. Don't know what that is. First look at Tom. Succession Season 4. Okay. First look at Roy Season 4. Since I don't watch Succession. That's just too much for me to do. Okay, it looks like a premiere there. Joseph Quinn. 10 actors to watch. Newport Beach Film Festival. That's what it is. We just last saw him in Stranger Things Season 4. He was a fan favorite. Kate Blanchett. She always takes a good photograph. Whoa, what's going on here? Very interesting photograph. Abstract. I dig it. Yep, cool. Jessica Henwick. Okay. Premiere at the Glass Onion. Yeah, she's going to be in Glass Onion. She's got a nice line about her, right? Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio got a great reception and good reviews. Looking forward to that. Sorry, Mr. Hanks. Yeah. Diego Calva. He's going to be in Babylon, right? The Legend of Mola Jat, starring Farwad Khan, has earned a massive $1.2 million in its first 3 days, despite limited release. Well, yeah, these movies. This is a Hindi movie, right? $2.5 million to produce. Really, just that much? I don't know what that's in crore, but yeah, cool. And that's playing near me too. Actually, it is, but I have to go to a different theater chain to get it. I'd have to go to something else than a Cineplex because I'm part of a rewards program that I get points every time I go to a movie, and after a certain amount of times, I'll get a free movie. That's why I go to Galaxy Cineplex. But I could go to a landmark to check out something like this. I need to. Anyway, Sophie Turner. Good to see her back too. She's just had 2 kids at a young age there too. So she's going to be very busy. Hopefully she comes back to a full-time acting role capacity in some sort. Diego Calva, Kiki Palmer, Trent Reznor, and Atticus Ross will compose the score for Challengers. Cool. We just talked about that Zendaya movie. These are the other 2 actors. This is not Trent Reznor. Reznor and Atticus Ross did Social Network and Gone Girl. And yeah, they're Academy Award winners. Of course, Trent is also 9 Inch Nails, right? So that's cool. Yeah. Arglass says, I wish we did the point system with our cinemas very behind the curve over there. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. At TIFF press conference, Glass Onion Ryan Johnson has confirmed. Yeah, we talked about that. What else? Anything else that dropped over the weekend? I don't think so. Ashton Sanders seems to be. Oh, Mia Goth. You know, it's hard when I don't recognize her with like the normal hair, with her normal hair. She looks like she's really blonde, right? Because you can see from her eyebrows that she's blonde, and she's got like an English accent. So it's weird to hear because when she talks in Pearl and X, she does like North American accent. Good actress. She's going to be in Maxine. Can't wait to see more from that. And then I can't wait to see her actually branch out and do other stuff beyond the horror stuff because I want to see what her range is as an actress. Emma Stone, Renee Reneves, Elena Haim, and Hyun Jung at Academy Museum Gala. Looks like they're in the bathroom, taking a selfie or something. I don't know what the heck that is. That's something that girls do. Some guys do, I suppose, but whatever. Emma Stone, though. That's her right there, right? I like Emma Stone. The Nun 2 has begun filming. Breaking news. The Nun 2. Cool. Michael Chavez. All right. Yeah, we talked about that a while ago and the returning cast. Naomi Watts says she chose Saoirse Ronan to play her in a biopic because she's fantastic in everything she does. Huh. When Naomi Watts needs a biopic, I mean, her career's not over yet. She still does a lot of great stuff. Why? Saoirse Ronan. She's getting a little bit older to play that. I do like her. I'm so behind in the movies. She's in a movie right now with Sam Rockwell, like a detective movie, sort of like in the same kind of atmosphere as what Amsterdam was, but it's with her and Sam Rockwell that I wanted to see. Kind of like a murder mystery, whodunit kind of thing. I want to see it. Megan confronts Chucky after the latter attempt to disparage her in a series of tweets. What are they trying to make like a Chucky Megan beef online? And now back to this doll who had a lot to say about me the other day. Press Chucky, what's good? Okay, well that's kind of fun. Yeah, I said that in my initial reaction to Megan, that trailer, that a lot of people are actually really creeped out about Megan and that dancing doll, the way that she was moving and stuff. Really creepy. And I wouldn't be surprised though if somehow if that was a real robot that they programmed to do that. That would be crazy though. Oof. And they want to create like fake beefs between her and Chucky. Fine. Production has wrapped on Netflix's rom-com Irish Wish, starring Lindsay Lohan and Ed Spielers. It follows Maddie, a bridesmaid at a wedding between her friend and the love of her life. After a wish, she wakes up in a world where she is the bride. Irish Wish. Huh. Chris Evans on the set of the Red One with Dwayne Johnson. He's going to be in this with Dwayne Johnson, right? Red One. That comes out next year, I think. All right. Lucy Hale, Nat Wolf. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much rounding us up, right? Oh, Sofia Coppola. Back to work, excited to be telling Priscilla's story. Oh, yeah, that's right. She was going to direct a story between Priscilla Presley and Elvis. So Sofia Coppola's on Instagram. I'm not so creeped out about Megan's dancing, more the huge knife she's wielding. Yeah, that too. And when she started to run on all fours, that's kind of creepy too. Jacob Tremblay is his learner's permit via Instagram. So he's grown up, learning to get behind the wheel. Very good, very cool. That's the way to do it, man. All right. I think that's it. Where are we at? 107. All right, and yes, we can end there. Hagrid. Robbie Coltrane, rest in peace. I guess Radcliffe came out himself and paid some respects, right? On his Instagram, he said Robbie was one of the funniest people I've met and he used to keep us laughing constantly as kids on set. I feel incredibly lucky that I got to meet and work with him, and I'm very sad that he passed on. Yep. Yeah. And by the sounds of it, it sounds like he was a real mensch, right? Cool guy. 72, but he was a big man. He was. That's it for today, guys. Join us in about 22 minutes for House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon. All right. All right. Still got some time. Might as well jam. Why not? Yeah. I re-recorded some demos on the weekend, so that was kind of cool. Nothing really good and worth listening to, but it was kind of cool to see where my voice is at, which is not very much. That sounds a little bit like that. Can't remember that song. I can't even remember. I don't know. I'm just playing. How does that go? Something like that, right? I'd have to listen to the song again to hear it over my head. I thought it was played up higher. I know it works somewhere in there. I have to hear it again to go over it. Yeah, but maybe it goes down to that E flat. But that's the way it starts off. So I just can't remember how it goes. No. Yeah, I'd have to listen to it. Go to the F. I don't know. Guys, it's 1:14. Let's take a 15-minute break. It's time for me to make my coffee. And we'll get into House of the Dragon, Episode 9. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more movie news. See you guys then. Hit that thumbs up button. And see you tomorrow on Mirror Domains.